Hey trainers, hope you're all doing good. It's time to ring the bell. Only 2 days before Pokemon Unite actually releases, and there are many things to talk about, and one of those is, of course, going to be which is the first Pokemon you want to pick for free. Because how Pokemon Unite actually works is once the game releases and you create your account, there are 5 Pokemons for you to pick from, and you can have one for free, and then the other ones you have to buy them with currency inside the game. So this is a very important Pokemon to pick because this is one that's going to help you a lot in the early stages of your Pokemon Unite adventure. So 5 Pokemons to go through and to talk about and see which one is the most suited for your playstyle. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So the very first Pokemon we are going to be talking about is Pikachu. So Pikachu, the Pokemon that I think even my grandparents know about. This is the one that I am personally going to be going for myself, and I'm going to explain why. But before that, I have to prepare for something else. Boom, there you go. Pikachu hat. We're on brand. We're good. Reason why I put a Pikachu hat, Pikachu is completely broken. This Pokemon does absolutely everything in the game and can very easily take care of itself. So I'm going to explain why. Pikachu in the realm of Pokemon Unite is known as an attacker, which means that it's going to be onto the top side of the map and is also going to be dashing out some extremely high damage output from afar. It's going to be a ranged Pokemon you're going to be dealing with. And the reason why I say this Pokemon of Pikachu is completely broken is it's ranged, does really high damage output, and also it brings a lot of CC to the table. So for you guys at home that are not too familiar with the word CC, CC means crowd control, which could be stuns, roots, slows. Everything that impairs your movement in the game is what we call a CC. And literally almost every single ability of Pikachu has some CC to it. You're going to be immobilized so often. So if you're taking a one-on-one and you want to try and kite your enemy and run around the map and just be annoying as hell, Pikachu is going to be the Pokemon for you. You can see right now the offensive side, these stats is 4.5 stars out of 5. Which means that if you are a player that is going out there and you do not have a team to play with, you're going to go solo queue in casual or in ranked games, this is the Pokemon for you because it can very easily take care of itself. It's very self-sustaining, and if you want to rank up very quickly while just playing alone, Pikachu is going to be the #1 Pokemon for you at home. Also, because he's pretty broken, I've watched some gameplay. I recommend you go check it out for yourself. But he's pretty far out there. So Pikachu will be the first Pokemon that will be available to choose from the 5 Pokemon for free. And I would personally advocate for Pikachu itself. There's definitely looking like one of the most OP Pokemons in the entire game right now. So for our second Pokemon to pick from, the next one is now going to be Talonflame. Talonflame is what we call in the world of Pokemon Unite a speedster. For those who are a little bit more familiar with other MOBA games, he is known as a jungler. And the reason why he's going to be a jungler is because of the very high mobility. Especially you can see here 5 out of 5 mobility, mainly based around his passive and also how his abilities work. Can very easily roam around the map, move around the map, and also assist the top lane and also the bottom lane in the map of Pokemon Unite. The reason why this Pokemon could be very interesting for you is if you seem to be a little bit more controlling on the game. What I mean by that is if you feel like you're having your teammates, they don't really know what they're doing, which we're not going to lie, at the start of Pokemon Unite, that's kind of what we're all going to deal with. Talonflame is a Pokemon that can just roam very quickly around the map, and also one thing that's very interesting in the kit that I find very interesting if you're very skilled at the Pokemon is that you have a lot of iframes where you are untargetable. So what that means is you have some abilities where, for example, there's one that's called in French Peek Peek, but you got one of the abilities which is Talonflame goes high in the sky and for a few seconds is untargetable. You cannot target that Pokemon. So if you have an enemy that comes to you, pops the Unite move, which is basically the ultimate, and you want to avoid that damage, you just use that one ability and you dodge everything. It does require, of course, a little bit of skill in terms of timing itself, but Talonflame is perfect when it comes to it. And also you have some great evolutions to deal with from level 1, level 5, and level 7. Which I find is always fun when you have some evolutions to deal with. And it has some pretty sick skins too, which I recommend you go check out. But it's a pretty easy one. So if you have not too much experience in MOBAs in general, not only is this a Pokemon that's great at having big impact over the entirety of the map, you're also going to be having a very easy hands-down experience with Talonflame because it is a very easy Pokemon to play if you have no experience. So if you're new to the game and you want to have a more global impact on the map of Pokemon Unite on EOS, Talonflame is the one that I would personally recommend for all you new players out there. Pokemon number 3, we are now going to be focusing on Snorlax. He's my spirit animal. I think it's very noticeable if you look at me. Snorlax is one of the Pokemons that I'm going to be playing a lot of if I'm playing with teammates. And that's something very important to keep in mind, is this is a Pokemon that's great if you have a team that knows what they're doing. What Snorlax typically does, he is a tank champion, which means he's got a lot of HP. He's going to be onto the front line. He's going to be soaking up that damage for your teammates to try and assist and set your team up for success. Snorlax especially, not only is he going to be really tanky, he is also going to be having some decent CC coming to the table. And in that, I mean, he's going to be able to put enemies asleep. He's got 2 abilities that allow him to put enemies to sleep, which is going to be great to just, once again, set up your team for success while also soaking up a lot of that damage. His Unite move is where he goes to sleep, regens HP, and also puts to sleep all enemy Pokemons around him. He works great. But this is a Pokemon that I want to be very specific about. Sure, you're very tanky, you're a big, beefy boy, but because of that, you're not going to have a great amount of damage output. And how I talked about Pokemons is, for example, Pikachu. If you are going solo queue, you're going to play on your own. You want to take care of the game on your own. Pikachu is great. Talonflame is great. But Snorlax, you will not have that damage output. You got to be very aware of his role, which is going to be a defender. You're not going to carry games with Snorlax. I mean, maybe you will. Okay, but it's not that easy. If you are dealing with enemies that know what they're doing, Snorlax is not going to be the Pokemon to go for. The one situation where I would advocate for Snorlax is if you have a team of 1 or 2 players that you already talked with, and you want to duo, trio, quadra queue, pentaqueue in the game at launch. If that is your game plan and you want a Pokemon to help your team take games every single time and make things a lot easier for you, Snorlax is the Pokemon that I would recommend you to go for. But once again, if you are a solo player and you do not intend to play with friends, Snorlax is not the one I would go for, and I would be very aware of how you want to play the game. So Snorlax, good if you want to play with friends. If you don't, maybe not the best choice to go for. Now for our 4th Pokemon, I think this is going to be a fan favorite over here, is going to be Charizard, of course. One of the coolest Pokemons in a game, I would say, by far. His design is just so cool in general, and I think a lot of people, because of the nostalgia behind the Pokemon, are going to go for him. But there are things to be very aware of when you are thinking of going for a Charizard for your first Pokemon for free. Reason why is, in the world of MOBAs, he's known more as a bruiser type of Pokemon. That means he's going to be pretty beefy. He's got some decent damage output. But the one main issue I have with Charizard right now, from what I've seen, is he is relatively weak into the early entering to mid-game phase. He is not great when he's going to be on his 2 first evolutions, of course, when he's going to be on the Charmander and also the Charmeleon. Charmeleon's going to be more powerful than the Charmander. I think it goes without saying. But Charizard is when he hits the late game, and that is when he becomes extremely, extremely powerful. But for that to happen, you need to make sure you do not have a bad early game. So if you're able to make up for the weaker early game stage and really focus onto the late game the moment you hit that power spike, Charizard is definitely going to be the Pokemon for you. And I would definitely advocate for that one, even though he tends to be a little bit harder to play for people at home. But you can give it a fair shot. His kit is mainly focused around burn damage, which is going to be damage over time, somewhat similar to poison, for example, and also increasing his critical rate to try and make sure he hits crit after crit after crit. So he tends to be a pretty aggressive Pokemon, played more into the bottom side of the map of Eos on Pokemon Unite. Just so you're aware, there you go. If I had to pick a Pokemon I wanted to do damage output with, I would go for Talonflame. I would go mainly for Pikachu, which I still think is completely broken. But Charizard, once again, if it is a Pokemon you want to train and you want to get good at, it is definitely one that is very powerful, but maybe requires a little bit more work to actually make function in your ranked games. And now for our 5th and final Pokemon of the bunch, we're going to be focusing on Eldegoss. Not going to lie, not a Pokemon I'm extremely hyped up for, and I can repeat the same points I made for Snorlax in the sense that this is a Pokemon that you are going to need a team that knows what they're doing if you want to play a very powerful and impactful at that Eldegoss Pokemon in your games. Reason why is Eldegoss is mainly a healer, and by healing, Eldegoss does a lot of healing. Don't get me wrong, it's really, really good. But is it a Pokemon that is really necessary for your games? In my eyes, no. For multiple reasons. One of those being, the map is so damn small. You can very, very easily go back to base, get the teleport done, and then you also got some jump pads to get back into the action even quicker. So technically speaking, if you need healing, you don't need an Eldegoss. You just go back to base, join back. This is not League of Legends. This is not Dota when it's your base is 10 miles away. The map is extremely small. If you need HP, if you need to heal, you do not need an Eldegoss. You go back to base and you should be good. Though, if you have a team that synergizes really well with being self-sustaining and having a lot of extra healing and being extra tanky in the fights. If, for example, you have yourself a Charmander, you have yourself, well, a Charizard, should I say, you got yourself a Snorlax, and you actually will get a lot of value out of that healing, then that is a situation where Eldegoss would potentially be extremely powerful. Other than that, I would not advocate very heavily for an Eldegoss unless you have a game plan. Do you want to play with other people? Do you really enjoy? And you want to go duo, trio, and then Eldegoss could have some more of an impact. And even then, I would not say it's great because healers just don't seem extremely meta in my eyes. From what I've seen, at least in the beta, that could change. Everything that's in the beta is subject to change into the actual proper release of the game this Wednesday. But as of right now, Eldegoss, I would not advocate for. Same for Snorlax. I don't think they're really Pokemons that need to be picked. You can just buy them later on down the line. The ones you want to go for right now are the ones that are going to help you grind and level up objects you're going to be going for, and also to rank up as quickly as possible. Those two, unfortunately, are not the two that I would personally go for as your free Pokemon at the start of your Pokemon Unite adventure. And there you have it. That's going to be my breakdown for all the 5 Pokemons that you could pick from and have one for free once you start your account on Pokemon Unite. Hope that was helpful for you guys at home. So once again, quick little recap. Pikachu, Talonflame, and also Charizard will be the 3 Pokemons I will prioritize at the very start. Pikachu being the main one because he is just so broken in the landscape of the game. He has CC, high damage, he's range, and he can very easily 1v9 if necessary. So definitely I would go for Pikachu myself. As you can see with my hat, we're going to be on brand with that Pokemon. But that's going to be about it. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and like the video. I really appreciate it as always. And yeah, thank you for watching. Not going to waste any of your time, so I'll see you later for a new Pokemon Unite YouTube video.